Welcome to Nell 2 Model Railway. I'm John, ably assisted by Silver, my Weimaraner. Welcome back to Nell Model Railway, and in this video I'll be showing you how I have made the platform surfaces and also moved on to creating the central stairwell and the central staircase, as well as the external stairs. As a lot of you will know, I endeavour to get the most out of my laser cutter, and I used it again for the platform surfaces, which are made out of 2mm MDF. I of course designed the dimensions or the drawings on Lightburn and then transferred it across to the laser cutter. There were numerous attempts at measuring, so some parts had to be recut, and there was a little bit of filing and fettling to ensure, using my longest carriages, that things matched and there were no collisions or rubbing of carriages against the platforms. As you can see from this video, I started gluing the platform surfaces to each of the 3 platforms using my longest carriage to ensure that there was sufficient gap between the edge of the carriage and the edge of the platform. As a lot of you who are into model railwaying will know, the key area is coming off a curve onto the leading edge of the platform, and that is where I had to do a little bit of cutting back, but I only had to shave a small amount off. Here is the first platform weighted down whilst the glue dries, and obviously gluing bits of MDF to plywood is very repetitive, so the next image is all the platforms glued down properly. Once the glue had gone off and everything had hardened properly, I filled all the cracks with a standard polyfiller and sanded things down, and then coated everything with MDF primer. First of all, using Google Earth, I was able to roughly calculate the distance between the tunnel that is internal to Wandsworth town station, where the ticket barriers etc. are, and where the staircases start to where they exit onto the platforms, and with a little jiggering around of the measurements, I was able to get a rough approximation, bearing in mind that I'm having to foreshorten the platforms. Having drilled 4 holes at each corner of my measurements, I commenced the careful cutting out of the central stairwell void. Once the void had been cut out, I took the necessary measurements and used Lightburn to work out the scale sizing of my central staircase, as can be seen by this next image. Again, all the parts were cut using the laser cutter and 2mm MDF. Unfortunately, after cutting out the parts, I got extremely excited and glued everything together and didn't video it. However, here you see me carrying out a test fit of the central stairwell. You will note that it is foreshortened and doesn't go all the way down to what would be ground level, and that isn't allow me to work it in through the void or the opening without it catching anywhere. And it fits. Whilst my model railway excitement continued unabated, I decided, although it was a bit rash, to do the external staircases as well. But thinking about it, it was a good idea, as I could work out where they needed to be placed against walls which are yet to be built on the far side and the near side, bearing in mind I'm working from rear to front. So I had to get an external staircase built ready for the far side wall to be put into place. The first thing I did was draw out the framework and supporting structure, along with stairs or steps to be stuck on, and this video is showing you the progress there. So having made the framework, i.e. the support structure and steps for the external staircases, I moved on to the sides and found from Google Earth the lattice work, metalwork, and decided to try and make my own. Again, it was going to be a laser cutter project, so I went on to Lightburn and developed the plan. From the image I found, I considered the best way forward was to sandwich the lattice work between two outer frames, which I decided to make from 1mm MDF. That would give in total a 3mm width, equating to 9 inches on the top layer, but only a 3-inch center. So I felt that was the best way forward. I cannot fault the laser cutter performance, although it did take a few attempts because the 1mm MDF had bowed for some reason. I had to stick it down, but it did cause a few problems with snagging on the laser cover. Finally, I was happy with what had been cut, and I was able to prepare it for gluing together, which you see now. after gluing everything together, I decided that the central staircase needed handrails, so went on to generate those on Lightburn and cut them out. And I also, by hand, from 0.25mm plastic card and using a fine tip compass point, created the riveted tops to the external staircases. As you can see from this list, there's a lot to do. I can't guarantee doing it all, but I'll do my best. Again, waiting for more pocket money, so using the items I already have. Thank you once again for watching the video, hopefully from start to end. And if you do like what you see and want to follow the layout build progress, please subscribe. And if you so desire, please click on the like button and the bell icon so you get notifications of when the next video comes out. Bye for now.